Welcome to Church Chat. Merry Christmas. As you can tell, a little bit of an unusual setting tonight. Welcome from downtown Sandy Bay, South Carolina. We are presently maybe approximately 2 to 3 miles away from Sandy Bay International Airport. As you can see tonight, I'm the Lone Ranger. My partner, Chuck Tisdale, is not able to be with us tonight. And I got it on good authority because I talked to Amory that the reason he is not here tonight is he found out he was on the naughty list. Now, I'm just telling you what Amory said. Chuck Tisdale's on the naughty list. He's trying to make amends before Santa comes. And all I can say to him is good luck because he's a Tisdale and he lives, well, let me hush. Let's get into the scripture tonight. Again, Merry Christmas to everyone. Just want to read one scripture tonight. It's going to be a little bit of an unusual scripture when we think about Christmas, but I want to tie it in. So if you'll just bear with me, and you're going to have to, I'm getting old, I can't see as good as I used to, so just bear with me. This is from the 25th chapter of Matthew, and this is started in verse 35 if you want to read along with me. For I was hungered, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. Sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we that you were hungered and fed you, or thirsty and gave you to drink? When saw we you that you were a stranger and took you in, or naked and clothed you? Or when saw you that you were in prison and came and visited you? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, for as much as you have done it unto one the least of these my brethren, you have done it unto me. I want to tell a story tonight. This isn't going to be a long church chat, but I want to share a story tonight that changed my life. And it happened at Christmas. But when I was about 13 to 14 years old, it was Christmas Eve, or it might have been the day before Christmas Eve, but I was at home and Daddy pulled up in the yard and he came in and he got me and he said, son, he said, come ride with me. I want you to go somewhere with me. And didn't have a clue what was going on. And you know, it was Christmas time and I was out of school and I was excited. And you know, I was thinking about, well, I wonder what I'm going to get for Christmas, and just all kind of things going through that teenage mind, you know, just excited about this. And man, all my family was down and we were just having a good time. And got in the car with Daddy and started riding. Daddy didn't say anything. We just were riding and went right down the road not far from here. And we pulled into a yard. And when we pulled into the yard, I didn't know who lived there, but the house was very old. No Christmas decorations that I could see on the outside. And we got out of the car and Daddy said, come with me. And Daddy opened the trunk of the car. And I saw stuff in the trunk, didn't know what it was or what it was for or anything else, but Daddy went and knocked on the door, and this lady came to the door, and Daddy introduced himself and he introduced me, and he said, ma'am, he said, I have some stuff here for you and your children. And Daddy and I walked back to the trunk and we began to take stuff out. And it was wrapped. And y'all, I will never forget her standing in that door and the tears streaming down her face. And I believe it might have been 4 children coming gathered up at the door. And I remember one of them looked up at her and said, "Mama, we're going to have Christmas." And she just shook her head and said, "Yes, baby, we're going to have Christmas." I helped Daddy unload the car, and she hugged Daddy's neck when we left. And we got back in the car, and I said, "Daddy," I said, "where did all that stuff come from?" And Daddy began to tell me. He said, "Son," he said, "some came from Linwood and Lauren Tyler at Belt, some from Isidore Goldstein at Silverman's, some from Mike Taylor at TGNY." And he just continued to name businesses from right here in King Street that had given and given and given. And I said, "Well, Daddy," I said, "you know, is this the only house you're going to?" He said, "Oh, no, son." He said, I've got more houses to go to today." He said, "I got to go back and I got to reload." And I don't know how many houses Daddy ended up going to. I don't know, how much the merchants in King Street and the people of King Street. It wasn't just merchants, it was individuals that gave also. But the thing that I'm 59 years old tonight, and that is as vivid in my mind right now as anything I've done today. It changed my life. It changed the way I looked at Christmas. And it made me understand better, I think, what Christmas is than anything I had ever heard preached in the church or read in this book up to that point. This is the season of giving. This is the season of everybody at Christmas, there's a different spirit in people at Christmas time. It shouldn't be that way. The spirit of Christmas in a Christian should follow us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And listen, I understand. I know that we have bad days. All of us have bad days. But I think about that, and I appreciate the fact that Daddy came and got me, because I know there was a purpose in what Daddy did that day. I know there was a purpose in, he wanted me to understand the spirit of this season, but he also wanted me to understand how blessed I was, how blessed he was, how blessed so many, and many of you watching tonight, we're blessed beyond measure. But I'm just so thankful that Daddy got me that day, and for what I felt in my heart that day. Because up to that point, for Chuck Walker, Christmas was, what am I going to get? What am I going to receive? What's under the tree for me? What might be outside in the morning when I get up after Santa comes? What's going to be in that stocking? And that day, my perception changed. When I read these scriptures tonight, I read them because the point I want to make is that Jesus was telling his disciples, you know, I was hungry and you fed me. I was sick and you come to visit me. Do something this Christmas that will touch or reach someone. You will get a greater blessing out of doing for others this Christmas than you will ever receive under your Christmas tree. I learned that firsthand. But going back to the scriptures, and the point I want to make tonight is simply this. God looked at this world, and God saw a hungry world. God saw a naked world. God saw a sick world. And God saw a world that was in prison. There was no hope for this world. There was no way out for this world. This world was at Mama and her children that Christmas Eve. And God sent his son. That's Christmas, y'all. That's what Christmas is. God looked at this world and he saw the condition it was in. He saw the pain it was in. He saw the suffering. And he knew that the heart of man didn't have a hope. So he sent his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ. And that, folks, is what Christmas is. That is what Christmas is. I know this has been a short church chat. I appreciate all of you. I want to wish all of you from the bottom of my heart, from Mary and I, from Abigail and Benjamin, from Chuck and Amory and Carson and Austin, Merry Christmas. We'll have another one, hopefully and prayerfully, before New Year's. But I hope and pray with all my heart that every single one of you have a very joyous and Merry Christmas. Spend it with your families. Extend your hand to someone else. I want to thank my wife tonight. She is the set designer tonight and the camera woman. So I greatly appreciate her stepping up and doing that tonight. And God bless you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And to all, a good night. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Merry Christmas and God bless.